Hi everyone, I'm Miranda McMickle, and we're going to be discussing today about RTI and what it is. RTI is response to interventions. We have been discussing the three tiers that it entails, and we're going to kind of break it down into the tiers and kind of explain the different categories: tier one, tier two, and tier three. So I'm going to turn this around, and what RTI is a response to intervention. It has three tiers, and it's kind of like when students fall behind, schools try to help them catch up. And many schools now use this approach, and it kind of breaks the kids in different groups, kind of like how they're struggling in different subject areas. So I'm going to flip the camera back around, and we're just going to look at this pyramid and what it entails. Tier one, it usually involves the general classroom as a whole. About 80 to 90% of the students in this tier receive the general instruction. Uh, Students in this tier, they may work in small groups, and the teachers will do their best to give the kids teaching that fits their skill levels. Um, and it also, this kind of helps keep track of their progress as well. And then we're going to move on to tier two, and sometimes it's anywhere from 5 to 15% of the students. They may be struggling a little bit. They just need that extra push. Um, and these students could get pulled out for some type of interventions. It could be once a week, twice a week, that sort of thing. But it kind of gives them that extra push in those extra like into a smaller class group, whereas there's not as many students, not as many distractions, and that type of thing. And then we have a tier three, and in this tier, anywhere from 1 to 5% of the students in this classroom uh, sometimes consider they get pulled out for special services rather than being in the general classroom. Uh, Sometimes even in like the special ed classrooms, these kids that are in tier three are kind of at the most risk at falling behind. They struggle. Some may have like some of the more severe disabilities, and are sometimes are recommended to go into the special ed classroom. So we're just kind of going back over it. What RTI is, response intervention. It's where some of the kids that are falling behind get that uh, extra interventions. Break it down, not as a fast paced deal. So I'm just going to kind of use this little pyramid, the red representing the tier three. We'll just write on here tier three. And it to just kind of help remember, it's 1 to 5% of the students in the classroom. And then we have the tier two, where they get special interventions maybe once, twice a week, and it kind of represents 5 to 15% of the students that need that extra push. And then you have, of course, the first tier, which about 80% of the students fall under this category and doesn't really need that extra push. So that just kind of breaks down the different tiers of the response to interventions and kind of explains it a little better.